All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever time you are catching me on this broadcast. Hello, everyone. This is Sister Tisha D. Colston, and thank you for joining me, Smart Money Sisters. This is the group where we talk about how to make, manage, and multiply money. And so we have been on our mission here this summer with our side hustle summer series. And we've been going through a course. So welcome back to the course, Side Hustle Profits, which is your step-by-step blueprint to starting a profitable side hustle. Now, last week, we talked about setting realistic goals and timelines with your side hustle there. And so we talked about, goal setting. We talked about timelines. We talked about constantly reevaluating your goals. And today we are going to talk about keeping your side hustle separate from your day job, keeping your side hustle separate from your day job. Because here's the thing, if you value your day job, then you're not going to want to lose that day job, especially not when your side hustle has barely even started. It's probably pulling in $1 or two and things like that, right? So you don't want to quit your day job. You want to value your day job. You want to keep your day job. So even when your side hustle reaches the point where you're making more money than your day job, some still want to keep that job. You may want to still keep your day job. Now, if you work at a job you like, and you find it enjoying, it's very fulfilling for you, then guess what? Stay in it. Stay in it. Some places are worth staying for, even if it doesn't pay nearly as much as your side hustle, because that is the goal. To get your side hustle should be paying you more than your day job, right? That's the whole point of this thing. Well, it is for me. For you, it may be just extra $1,000 here or there, $500 here or there, but hopefully your goals will increase as your side hustle increases. So your money goals will also increase. So, but anyway, don't let me get off topic today. Okay. So if that sounds like you, then, good for you. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have a job that they truly love and they want to stay at. So, hey, but I want to go over some tips that are going to help you to keep your side hustle separate from your day job. So, tip number one, don't cheat your job. Okay. One of the biggest no-nos of having a side hustle is working on it while you're on paid company time. Even if you've got the most boring job in the world, if your time is spent for by someone else, then you really shouldn't be disrespecting them by working on your side hustle secretly. Now, I know sometimes it's tough because I've been there, done that. And if you get caught, you could also lose your job. Also, if you have a side hustle, if your side hustle is also somewhat related to the things that you do at work, then you want to make sure that you don't get tempted to offer your services or to your work clients as well. That's called poaching. And so we're really talking about integral type of things. These are value add things, right? This is things that we should value, especially as Christian women, right? So, because listen, your employer can fire you, your employer can sue you for breach of contract, and that's something that you want to avoid at all costs. And you have to respect the boundaries between your work and your hustle. For as long as you're employed, then you need to play by your employer's rules. Okay. The next tip that I have would be to manage your time well. Time management is so important when it comes to side hustling, because you've only got a limited amount of time every day. And you need to divide that into all the things that you have to do, the work, the personal commitments, making sure that every single minute that you allot to your side hustle is spent working on it. So you have really got to manage your time well. But doing that can be kind of hard, especially if your side hustle is at home. There's too many distractions, right? When you're at home, you got TV, you got Netflix, you got the kids, you got the hubby, you got the wifey, you got pets, you've got it's hard to say no to friends who are inviting you out to go out, go out. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go out to the movies. You know, it's kind of hard to say no, but you got to build up the courage to say no because, I know my cousin used to say, you say no every time. So she stopped inviting me. But it's really for the best when you're building up that side hustle. You're going to do what you have to do now so that you can do what you want to do later. So you have to minimize the random play times as much as you can and strictly concentrate on your side hustle, right? um Plan the things that you do and not allow them to be random things. Okay, plan your to-do list, make your schedule, and make sure that you stick to it. Now we know that things happen, but you want to stick to it as much as you can. Having a routine is really key to a side hustle. If you have random things that disrupt your schedule all the time, then you're going to find it hard to get in the rhythm. And so you want to build momentum, not only with the people that you offer your side hustles too, but in you just doing the work. You want to catch a rhythm in doing that. You want to build momentum in doing that. So you want to eliminate the distractions and things that disrupt that momentum as best as you can. Side hustles, for side hustles that require creativity and concentration, you often need to get in a zone. Got to get in the zone. Get in the zone before you can do anything. So you can't get yourself distracted. If you let yourself be distracted by the tiniest little things, then you're not going to accomplish much, right? You're writing a book, let's say. You got to get into that zone. If you're doing a journal, you got to get into that zone. Well, I find that most things that I have done, I gotta get into the zone. I gotta have that momentum going, and then I can get a lot more accomplished. Even in like I do Amazon videos, and sure, I can do one video, but I got to get into the zone so I can churn them out because the more videos you have up, the more potential income you make, right? So you got to build the momentum and you can't let things distract that momentum. And the last thing I want to talk about here, it's going to be a brief one, is setting boundaries. So you need to set physical limits when you work on your side hustle. So if you create designs, let's say, or you write, then you probably need some peace so you can get your creative juices flowing. If you don't live alone, then you're going to need to find some space that's all to yourself. If you've got a spare bedroom or a spare corner sometimes, then you could use that as your office if you don't have an office, or even excuse me, even using your office for that matter. But what it is that you're going to have to create the boundaries. If you live with anyone, you have to create boundaries. You're going to have to tell them that when you're in this particular space, when you're in this particular mode, when you're in this particular corner of the closet, okay? I know some friends who, they did their Zooms and things in their closet because they had a son who is autistic. And so, that was their quiet space, was in the closet. So you tell the people that you live with that, hey, I'm not to be disturbed unless this is an emergency. Okay, we're gonna sit all y'all children down here in front of this TV. The TV gonna be the babysitter right now, and I'm going in the room and I'm going to work on my business for this amount of time. You can put up a sign on the door handle that says something like no. You can just put, listen, I said one day, no is a complete sentence. You can just put no on the door. You let them know that when you see no, that means no. You can't have nothing from me. You can't come in here. Everything is a no. Okay. Somebody needs to coin that one because I just thought of that one. No, I wish I had thought of that one when I was raising my kids. I would have put no up on the refrigerator a whole lot of times or on the door. So you could put a sign on that door handle or put it just on the door itself that anything that's going to deter or help someone from coming in and interrupting you. You can put on there work time, right? I'm at work, right? Do not disturb, okay? Those things like that. Now, also remember that when it comes to clients, you got to set boundaries as well. Depending on your side hustle, it might be really important for you to mention that you have a full time job so they don't call you anytime that they feel like calling you because people will do that. They think that you are supposed to be available when they have a question. And people, especially, I don't know, it's getting more and more these days where people just lack patience. So if you don't get right back to them, it's oh my God, I've been I've been spammed, I've been ripped off and things like that. It's like, no, boo boo, I work 8 to 5 and then I come home and I work on my business during these hours. It's one of the things that's really important for you to have is business hours. So that way you can tell people straight up, hey, listen, I don't respond to calls on this time. Listen, I don't work on the weekends. Don't come to me on the weekends talking about scheduling nothing. So these are the boundaries that you may need to set with people. I don't work on Sundays. So if you contact me on Sunday, I'm going to have to get back to you on Monday at 8 p.m. because that's when I do my work. Do you see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you set boundaries with your clients, but you have to know what those boundaries are before you can set them. Okay. It's good before you go into relationships that you set the boundaries when you go into them. So that way they know, hey, on Monday, she doesn't work. Okay. So I got to wait until Tuesdays. Okay. Some clients, they really do panic when they don't hear from you within an hour. I've seen it happen so many times. Well, I emailed you. Well, you emailed me 15 minutes ago. No, no, you emailed me today, this morning. No. So they might call you if they've got your phone number. So you just got to be upfront about your schedule and let them know. If they need something done urgently, like it's a matter of life or death, then you may need to make an exception, but make sure it's a true emergency because you want to have that boundary set. You want to stick to it no matter how tempting it is. So for me, sometimes, if I have a boundary that's set, for me, it could be that I can do it. And I have to remember that just because I can do it doesn't mean that I should do it. Right. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something. Okay. Sometimes it's about you sticking to and setting that boundary so that you train people how to work with you best. And then you can identify what is a true emergency and what's not. Um, Now, you could, let's say someone did come up to you and they did have, or, they did have something you at work. Well, you can take an early lunch. You can take a break or something and go work on that urgent task, aside from, your day job, right? Because you're keeping things separate from your day job. So you can use your you're paying most companies, they're not paying you for lunches. They pay you for breaks, but it's still your time. And so you can take that time and then go work on that urgent task, right? Just remember not to be a pushover because it can be straightforward to people, um, for people to take you for granted. People do that and they don't even realize that they're doing it. So you have to stand your ground, follow the rules that you set and the boundaries that you have for your side hustle. It's gonna save your mindset. It's gonna not have you feeling like you're running all over the place and there. So there you have it for today, my sister friends. Keep your side hustle separate from your day job. Don't cheat your day jobs. Don't. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell you about that. Don't use company resources. Okay. Don't use company resources. We talked about time, but don't use company resources. Don't cheat your day job. Manage your time well. It's going to really help you to go far in your side hustle. And then, of course, set boundaries. All right. So, thank you. We'll see you again on the next video next week, where we'll be talking about creating and following a strict hustle schedule. So that's going to feed right into this. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that. Until we meet again, you be blessed, be fruitful, and multiply.